we are Team D. Our group chose social networking/healthcare, a network simulator between a hospital information systems and a radiology information system. Essentially what this means is when a patient comes into a hospital to have any sort of medical scan performed, the image produced from the scan is uploaded to a database, or a PACS, a picture archiving and communication system. From the PACS, the image can be retrieved anywhere in the hospital by doctors, nurses, or even the patient themselves from their own mobile device through a secure patient portal.
All right, we have a visual prototype first. We started with a visual prototype, but our capabilities of expanding on this were a little hard, so we switched to a hand drawn prototype so we could try to put more features in it. It was easier for us to draw before going to pencil. The first screen we have is a login screen. There's no way to sign up on this. We figure when you're at the hospital, they already sign you up and everything, and it kind of goes into our next slide.
Through our design process, we have come up with essentially two separate prototypes. One is a hand-drawn prototype, which will be shown and discussed afterwards, but this is our initial prototype, which has been envisioned and created in pencil. A walkthrough of this prototype would start off the user at... We do have a user selection screen, but it's not listed here, or a user login screen, it's not shown here. The user would log in and then be presented with a user choice of what their user selection is. But based on feedback we've received from the group forums, we're thinking about axing the user selection completely, because it makes more sense in a hospital environment to have the user already be distinguished of what they are. Like, they won't be choosing what account they're a part of. The patients will have a patient login, the medical professionals will have the medical professional login, and radiologists will have the radiologist login. So this is antiquated already. Right here we have the radiologist page. Theoretically, when a radiologist would log in, he would navigate towards this page. And here we have a calendar that will show, that's connected to the patients that are scheduled to be in on that particular day and at that particular time. I imagine that when a radiologist has a patient come in, he will click the patient that he is seeing and perform the scan. And once the scan is performed, the scan will be connected and the picture photos will be uploaded into here onto his page. From here, he could save the picture to PACS, he can do a rescan, let's say the picture didn't turn out at all, and then export the pictures to a mobile device. And then, once this is all complete, he would exit the HRS/RIS.
Their patients' names, images, they need to rescan, export them, or save to PACS. They need to exit, so it's simple, not too hard. The medical professional page is kind of similar. They have a little bit of extra monitoring if the patient's actually in the hospital at the current time. But otherwise, it's pretty similar. You still have the calendar, the pictures, retrieve from PACS, export to mobile devices, and the exit, and vital database. This if they need to check what their vitals were like per visit. So, and then the patient page, we didn't want to have too much on there. Just have them they can schedule their appointments if they want to get in or get out. But other than that, it's they have their date. They can pick when they want to do it, their patient's email address, their name, what they're going to be doing, the time and everything, and then who their doctor is, and export, exit. And that's our visual prototype.
Hi guys, this is a review of the Team D hand-drawn prototype. It assumes the user is a radiologist for this prototype, but we would like to add the perspective of a doctor and a patient. Use the hub flow because everything returns to the home screen. I'm going to go ahead and review what we have for it. Okay, so the user begins at the login screen. This would be a radiologist. They could enter their username and password. They could then be redirected to a home screen where they could choose their appointments, the patient images, to download images from the server, upload images to a server, local files, look up patients from the server. These are all choices that the radiologist could choose, messages, internet, all that. Let's say they chose, they wanted to edit patient images. They could go to the next screen. They'd enter the patient name, the date of birth, or the patient ID. It'd give them the patient, and then they could go ahead and see the recent activity they had, 3 images, open, they copy, download, whatever they want to do to those images. They go by the date and select the selection they want. So let's say they selected open. It would take them to edit patient images. They could go ahead and use the different editing tools to edit those patients' images, and then it would be redirecting to the home screen. Let's say they wanted to now upload images to the server. They could go ahead to the download server character, the patient's name, date of birth, or patient ID. Go ahead and press upload. It would then take them to the upload server screen, just showing them that it's being uploaded, and then it would redirect them to the home screen. Some changes that we want to add is to add patient and doctors, make this home screen a little simpler for doctors, nurses, and patients, add a saving option to the editing screen, and make a low fidelity and high fidelity prototype in pencil.
One last hand-drawn prototype we have is a very theoretical prototype at this point. It's accessing the PACS imaging through a patient record. The patient records wouldn't be something that our program would deal with by themselves. Patient record would be a separate system altogether that the hospital has implemented that we don't have any control over. All we would have control over is the possibility to present a link of some sort that can be implemented and shown into the patient record. Here we have a patient record, and the scans tab of the patient record would be opened, and then you could open up individual scans that had taken place, and this would be part of the patient record. But each scan, when you clicked it, it would open up an opportunity to see a link that would then go to the scan on the PACS.
Okay, for the design process, this is our first iteration of the design. We used the stuff we learned from the M2 lab. We applied them to our first iteration. We applied the user-centric design techniques of creating some personas and using a use case diagram that we talked about as our extra technique. The personas that we created were Dr. Gregory Fing. He's a radiologist. Dr. Vladimir Lich Ulyanowski, who's a urologist. We created a couple patients in Tong Li and Grigori Rasp patient. And then finally we have our nurse, Nicole, nurse lady. So then for our project status right now, we're at where we want to be. This is the goal we set for ourselves, and we ended up going where we wanted to go. After seeing a couple of the other group projects, maybe we thought we could have went with a pencil on this iteration 1, but the original plan was to do pencil for iteration 2. So as for personal goals, we reached where we wanted to be. One risk going forward is the lack of communication, but that's for any group in any project. And we've been pretty good about it so far by using the discussion board provided to us, and we're going to keep using that. For our next iteration, we plan to have our prototype more fleshed out, like it's more closer to its complete state. We were definitely going to have our pencil implementation done, and possibly, or not possibly, but we really want to refine our personas. So that's our goals for the next iteration. That's it for our presentation. If you have any questions or feedback, just post them on the forums and we'll get back to you, and we can use it for our next iteration. Thank you.